Hello and welcome everyone. This is Humans of Pharma platform by Pharma State Academy, and here we are with another inspirational Pharma Journey direct visit, where we will be having heart-to-heart discussion with a pharma leader. To everyone who is hearing me out, featuring a distinguished pharma leader, Amlesh Ranjan. With over 34 years of experience in a leading global organization, including 17 years of experience in leadership roles, he successfully managed various functions such as SBU Operations, Marketing and Sales, Commercial Excellence, Market Access, and Key Account Management. His extensive experience across different departments and corporate boundaries enabled him to deliver exceptional value as a coach, mentor, expert, and faculty. He has been an active and influential voice in the industry for more than a decade, delivering keynote speeches and chairing panels. He has already given us an insightful discussion on his book, The Penta Life, earlier. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence over here.
Thanks a lot. Happy being here, and thanks to Pharma State Academy's Humans of Pharma platform. It's a wonderful. I want to take this opportunity to thank also Dr. Swati and Dr. Satish for adding immense value to the industry, and also to you for playing a beautiful role in all these talks which are happening, which I'm sure have tremendous value for all those who are either part of there or they are becoming part of our industry. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Starting on a casual note, before I start to my usual questions, really wanted to know how a typical day of yours look like.
Yeah, so a typical day for me will be like it starts early as always. It is I have been an early riser as far as long as I remember. Uh, for and it gelled well with my professional life also, very very well. So usually in the mornings, at least 1 hour is out there somewhere in the joggers park or just being on the road for some time. So I love to walk basically. So that's the beginning, and then and I do walking meditation actually. As a yoga teacher and meditation practitioner, I do walking meditation. And then of course you come back and then you get into your usual. There are some sessions at times, since I have international coaching assignments also, where the time zones are different. So maybe if somebody is from Southeast Asia, then you suddenly, or Far East, then you have uh, early, or that way. So then depending upon that also, you prepare your day. And then this is how, I mean, so it's not, so being on your own also means that it's not about 9 to 5 kind of that you are. So it's broken in bits and pieces, and that's how the work day goes. And work day again, in the late in the evening also, there will be some assignment, something and all with there. If I'm doing a workshop, which I was doing last 2 days, I was into a day long simulation workshop, uh, leadership development. So when I was conducting that, obviously then it is, straight away you are rushing to the venue, and then all other things are not there. So other than that, yes, it is typical day goes that like that. And then yes, uh, time with family in that is beautifully built in always. Time is always there also for learning something or the other. Time is always there to write something or other. So it's yes, uh, fruitful day, a meaningful day, a productive day, a beautiful day every day.
Bits and pieces, and then ultimately leading to a productive day. Great. Um, so here's my first question. Such an illustrious professional journey and so many successful transition in your career. We are curious to know how have you navigated through your professional journey.
As you are aware, and as most know, that I started from frontline sales, and then grown through the ranks and geographies, and then reached head office in various strategic and leadership functions and so on. That's how the journey has been. And all through the journey, I was lucky that I always had some good colleagues around me. Some seniors supported me more often than not. Uh, then you also got some mentors, and when I became a team manager and team leader, I've been really, really blessed. I mean, you are very lucky if you get one good team. I kept on getting great teams, one after another, and it's like, and it has always been that case only. So somehow some really great individuals who will come together with me, and we will form a great team. That's how the whole journey has been. Yes, to start with, as a son of a doctor, I was not expected to get into frontline sales as a medical representative. Definitely, that was not anybody's expectation in personal or social circle. But then there was something in me which clicked, and I moved in that direction against the norm of that time. And I'm talking about good 36 years back when it happened. So I went against the norm, and luckily I became part of a very, great big organization, Hixt. That was giant of an organization in the world. Now later on, of course, Hixt became Aventis, Aventis became Sanofi. That's how the whole journey went. But and changes happened. Company also kept on changing. So that's why, somebody asked me why it is that you stayed in just one company all through your career. Then my answer is that, look, what happened, the company kept on changing itself, so it didn't allow me time to change. So I have had the privilege of working for such a fine organization that I never ever made a very serious, it's not that there were not opportunities, or there were not, you didn't get into any discussion, but kind of, I was fine doing what I was doing, where I was doing, and I stayed there. And two things which stand out, if I talk about how this journey, what has been the core: continuous learning. I have been learning like crazy. I have been absolutely, you can call the word crazy only. That if you look at the number of certificates that I have, and while working also in the field, I was continuously doing some course or the other. So it's like reached head office, it only increased. And the second thing was accepting challenging assignments. So somebody was asking me, okay, we are giving you your home state back. Then I'll tell, no, I want to go to that next state with a different language. They say there will be challenge, the people are far senior to you. And I'll say, no, I'll go and manage. Not a problem. From there, again, something happened because of which, the new headquarter, one headquarter getting closed, and many things were happening. Again, I would say that, why don't you create a new headquarter? I'll build that headquarter for you. And I'll go into that headquarter. In that headquarter, I'll become successful. After 3 years, then suddenly I'll know the company is launching a new BU only. And that headquarter will be somewhere else. Then I'll put my neck up once again. I want to go there. Now everybody is pulling me back from the existing one, but I will say, no, I want to go there. I want to go there. And eventually I'll end up there. So, it's like, again, when it was time to get into head office, once again, the same thing. Typical that you are in sales, so get into sales and marketing and so on and so forth. No, I want to get into that commercial excellence, which is I want to become SFE. So it's like, I kept on making some really, really unusual, challenging choices, and that satisfied even my learning instinct. So these are the two things which have really, really helped me, go through my journey: learning and accepting challenging assignments.
Great. Also, your journey truly reflects an adaptable approach. So it's inspiring to hear how your own principles have guided you. Which leads to my second question. During your time in field-based roles, were there any particular interactions or instances that left a lasting impression and influenced your approach to healthcare?
Yeah, so, when as you expect, son of a doctor would have seen a lot of patients in his life, also would have gone to many hospitals and medical colleges. And when I got into this, once again, I was going to various I'm going to very small primary health center also. I used to visit in early time, which I have mentioned in one of my articles also. And of course, the large hospitals and so on and so forth. So when you go to those places, you stop being a commercial person. It's and luckily once again I was working. I joined in with Höchst, where thinking about patient was ingrained in us. That pension. We to talk about patient centered today. It was part of us. Today, people talk about doing patient program. I remember as a rep, there was not even one Sunday when I was not doing diabetes detection drive. There was that culture, that urge to do something for the patient, something for the therapy, something for the disease area. And when you are doing that, then you interact with a lot of patients, their caregivers. Now, in my career, when I got into business part of the role, once again back after doing 10 years of transversal leadership roles, then again I got oncology. You go to a cancer hospital, how can there cannot be commerce as a opportunity as the first thinking. So that sense of responsibility is what gets ingrained, and that's why I say in every single talk of mine, the one of the first slides that I always present is that healthcare is first a responsibility, and only then it is an opportunity. And that is what I would like to say. That is what has been my biggest learning while going through the pharma industry, all through my journey, all through my work, whether it is at head office or in the field, that healthcare is first a responsibility. We have to have a sense of responsibility to operate in this industry. You want to do good in a disease area, you want to do good in therapy area, you want to do good for the patients. Very simple. And that's what my advice to everybody has always been. Always second slide of my presentation is healthcare as a first responsibility. And this pandemic, if this pandemic has not taught us that, what else will? Right? So, that's what the lasting impression from my profession, if you talk about.
And such that your personal encounter must have been profound. Bringing our conversation to the next question, what are your thoughts on in your career? You have managed teams, overseen operations, and have been involved in commercial excellence and even market access, key account management. Can you recall a challenging moment or a project that taught you valuable lessons about leadership?
So you can imagine someone who has always been attracting challenging assignments to himself. So it was built into the assignment right from day one. And before going there, I would tell you that, if I talk about one instance, I tell you when I came into head office into that SFE commercial excellence, that business excellence team was there. So we had this annual conference. And in annual conference, the MD has this habit of asking that you tell us, it's a large, the whole, all sales colleagues are there, sales leaders are there, HO leaders are there, marketing, all functions, everybody is there. Then he will ask, you tell me what is the worst thing that from the head office, what is the best thing from head office. Now we had some, 4 zonal meetings or 6 meetings, something like that. I don't remember now. It is about 17, 16 years back. So everywhere, meeting after meeting, it was incentive and rewards, incentives and rewards, incentives and rewards, incentives and rewards. It's like, and that was our primary delivery. One of the, not first one, but one of our primary deliveries. Now we were like, what is this? And he used to just look at us and, and then we came back from, it happens over a period of time, we come back from head office, then our entire team of SFE, analytics, MIS, and entire team, we put our head together. We kept on working on it, how to create industry best incentive and rewards. And not only in terms of the design, but also in terms of delivery. And that's what, of course, that was a long journey, a lot of teamwork, a lot of midnight oils burnt. But ultimately, we delivered and rolled out and started paying also. I mean, absolutely industry benchmark kind of a that this period gets completed and payment happens in the next month itself, just the very coming month. So it's phenomenal. And then we rolled out and say, of course, feedbacks were coming. Then again, the national annual conference happened. And again, he got up and asked, so tell me, which is the worst thing and the best thing from the head office? And every single conference across the country, it was incentive and rewards, which came as the best thing from head office. So say 6-7 months time, 8 months, 9 months time, we brought about that transformation from the worst thing to the best thing. And that kept on being the best thing for years together. After that, we really set benchmarks. And but I will like to take you to the other part when you talked about various roles and how into the leadership part. Of course, a lot of leadership learning was there. The transversal roles that I was playing all through, be it commercial excellence, be it market access, be it key account management, disease management, all those parts, almost like 10, 11 years, I was lucky to have this transversal roles which were there. And there, the level of collaboration which is required, the level of coordination which is required in a large organization is phenomenal. It's absolutely, it calls the very best of you. And when you do that, of course, there's challenging, it takes time, it really sometimes saps you, but then you grow internally in a very big way. You really become a very rounded professional. And you know what, in that I saw that we were kind of becoming we as a business excellence team, we were almost like the arms of the organization. We were like doing anything and everything, any project which need to come used to land up on our table. Any kind of project will be coming, whether related, unrelated, it will definitely reach us. Some used to say that, you guys are actually MD's eyes and ears also. So when you come to the field, we are a little more careful what we talk and show to you. I say, I say, you see, we come from the field, we are one of you. It's only that we are sitting in head office now, but we are definitely one of you. So you know what was happening at that time, and possibly I didn't. Now that I have moved into organizational development, leadership coaching. So in OD, organizational development, this systems thinking is something very powerful. System thinking, where you consider yourself as not just an individual, as a part of a larger system, which organization is, and you get the best, give the best to the system and get the best out of the system. And just now, 2 days back, I was mentioning some time back, that yesterday and day before yesterday, I was doing along with my team of organizational development alternatives, a simulation workshop over 2 days for some leaders were there from a major banking group in India. Now you may be smiling, what is this pharma guy doing with banking? But then this is how my transition has been. Now I have expanded beyond pharma, and I'm industry agnostic, so I can take my competencies, skills, and offerings to any business, any industry now. So when I was doing that the whole theme was that on systems thinking only. We were only trying to see that when you integrate into the system, the whole group is empowered in a big way. Everything evolves. It's very powerful. Then the very best of the system, anybody involved in the system, and that collective harnessing of the very best of every individual happens when they become integrated into the system. And I will not go into system thinking and how system goes, but it's a lot of mutuality is there, a lot of co-creation is there. You co-own, you co-create, everything is together. Even though possibly that's not your function, that's not your role, but you understand and you contribute in your own way. And it's a very beautiful thing. As I said, I will not go in there. Maybe someday, some platform, I'll talk on system thinking, but not here. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. So, industry best incentives and rewards can be a formidable task over here, and your focus on system learning and strategy is totally noteworthy over here. With that covered, let's move on to the next topic at hand. What motivated you to become a key contributor to the international and national industry forums and professional social media? And how has your involvement and growth as a thought leader impacted your professional journey?
Yeah, it was very simple. When I was getting into all those functions, like I became SFE along with, of course, there were other three, four people who were coming together, and there was a leadership which was guiding us. But it didn't exist here in India at that point in time. So where do you go and learn? Of course, our global organization was having our training programs. Some of the consultants like BCG were very helpful at that time, but still you need to learn more. Where do you go? Then only I started harnessing the social media, and more so LinkedIn. I almost consider it as a learning platform more than networking platform. It's like a university. Actually, 5 years back, I gave a talk on L&D in Bangalore. I remember on in L&D, I showed them like, this is LinkedIn University, this is Google University, this is Facebook University. It's up to you to learn. There is enough and more available, and enough and more available free of cost also. It's just that urge should be there. So, that was the starting point. Now, what happened over a period of time, that once you start learning, you feel like contributing back. So I started contributing back more so on the LinkedIn. I mean, Facebook is more like social, so it was more on the LinkedIn that I started contributing. And then someone noticed sitting in Germany. Then, global commercial excellence conference was there, and they got in touch with through LinkedIn only. That, will you like to talk there? I was say, are you sure you want to invite me only? And then some exchanges happened. He said, no, we have been watching how you are contributing on the web, and we will love that if you can come down and you can talk. And then that's how then I agreed, and all arrangements were put in place. And then I picked up a topic, and all the way, my first talk happened in Dusseldorf, Germany. All the way I went there and then delivered the talk, right? And then I came back. Luckily here, there were some platforms which were operating, and they approached me, and then I was, willing that, okay, I'll come and talk. And what did I realize in that? Yes, I delivered to my satisfaction, to the satisfaction of everyone. Is very happy. I got rated very, very well in that conference as a speaker. What I realized, that the maximum learning has happened for myself. Whatever I might have conveyed to the audience, I have learned quite a lot. So I realized that, there is this dictum called, to teach is to learn twice. And
True.
that is what happened. And once I realized that, then I increased my, you can call it thought leader. To me, it was just, either writing articles, giving comments, or every single speaking opportunity which was coming, I was taking to my bosses and my HR, say, I need a permission. I will not talk about what my company does. I will only share conceptual. The thoughts will be mine, typical professional. So, but I kept on speaking one after another, and then it's 12 years now that I have been speaking on various platforms. So, that how that helped me. It helped me learn and do all my challenging roles that I did. Every time I have to prepare, like even today, somebody calls me for market access, somebody calls me for key account management, somebody calls me for digital, somebody calls me for digital transformation, somebody calls me for commercial excellence. L&D also, learning also I get. So, it's like I really, really went deeper into all these aspects. And I now also, somebody asks me to come and talk on something. It will take me a week of preparation. And that's all. I can learn anything because I have done it firsthand also. And I've been continuously learning. And that helped me, become a well-rounded professional, I would say. A leader, it makes you, when you know about other functions, then I become business leader, right? But I had so much sensitivity for somebody who is heading commercial excellence or market access or key account management. I will work very naturally along with them because I know their pain points. I know what happens in the background. And that's what is system thinking. When you understand other parts of the system and you're integrated along with them, that's what happened through, the thought leadership. And I continue, you call it thought leadership. I don't consider it thought leadership. It is just that this is my preferred way to learn and share my learning. Very simple.
And indeed, your commitment to knowledge sharing is commendable. Moving on, you have spoken on wide range of topics, Amlesh, including excellence, access, key account management, marketing, digital, leadership, and even L&D, as you have already told us. Which topic do you feel you are most passionate about, and why?
Yeah, it's choosing a topic amongst all this
This is
commercial
another new challenge in your bucket.
market access, key account management, business, learning. So it's like choosing among your children that who is your favorite. It's always very difficult. But I would say commercial excellence is like, my first love in professional arena, for the simple reason that we were really, pioneered something and built something and did exceedingly well, unbelievably well. We did in a new function, we made a huge difference. That time organization was, a big merger was happening. We were playing the role of integrator, and we were not very senior people at that point in time. We just about entered the head office and just about started growing in the head office. We came in. And that's why commercial excellence, will always have a very, very special place in my heart. Having said that, I will come back to the topic which is dearest to my heart is learning once again. You see, learning is my first character strength. Every time a strengths assessment is done, 5 different tools have been used on me for assessing me. Number one has to be learning, one way or the other. It's that strongly embedded in me. So, first love as a topic is learning. And today, when I get into the role in my second innings, what I'm doing right now. Say, learning and development is a very core part. So I have finally arrived at what I always wanted to do, what I always loved, and that's why I would say that as a consultant, facilitator, coach, and mentor today, or even yesterday, when I was just having 6-8 member team, I was having first line manager I became. Even at that time, 25 years back, I was a coach manager. I used to say that in 3 years' time, I will make myself redundant. I will not be needed. How? I will make you do everything. I will step back. I'll give you all training, all skills, all knowledge, all information, all resources. But I'll not be around. I'll step back. And exactly that's what I did on the end of the third year. I chose some other assignment and walked away from there. India's number one area team in the organization at that time. I just walked away. I promised them we will together deliver that. We delivered that. And we wrote in that time there was this acetate paper was there. We used to write with, I don't know whether you are aware of acetate paper or not. Overhead projector was there. So we created map and star. We gave ourselves a name, a motto. 3 years at the beginning of the 3-year journey. And that I just kept it somewhere in the record. That we will become number one, we declared to ourselves 3 years prior to that. And after 3 years, when I walked out as number one, I made a copy of that and just couriered it to them and walked away.
That's even called a leader mindset, Amit sir.
So, that people development, coach leadership, coach man, it was always inherent to me all through my journey. So learning, it's a critical part of this mindset. And that's how even today I'm doing the same.
Wonderful. Another one here for you. Can you share more about the journey from being a corporate leader in life sciences domain to becoming executive and leadership coach, a mentor, and organizational development professional? What inspired this transition, actually?
Yeah, so as you can see, time and again, I'm going back to learning, coaching. So somewhere you see the common, you would see this people management, people development is something that I was doing with myself to start with, continuously developing. And luckily, I have had the team which believed in developing. So that, that people development part is what that was continuously happening. So human capital is the most important resource that any organization can have. Is the most important. And that uh, and I also say the biggest contribution as a manager or a leader that you can make to the organization is by developing your people. So when I carried this attitude and approach into head office, then I found myself working quite a lot along with my HR colleagues. Say whenever there was a train the trainer, I will volunteer that make me a train the trainer. Yeah, and that happened even with coaching also. We were propagating coaching within the organization. I said that make me one of the trainers. So I got trained separately. Then I went around the country training others. So it's like, yes, I was from different function. I was into hardcore commercial function, but I have had interest where I worked with HR, organizational development team, L&D team, quite a lot within the organization, and that's how I kept on moving from when the time came from me to make the switch from the corporate to becoming on your own as a organization development, leadership coaching, mentoring, a professional in the human capital area. It was very easy for it. It's just a very smooth, because I have had those attitudes and approaches already built into me. And then I added a lot of learning, a lot of certification I have had, right from Harvard, Yale to TISS here. XLRI was my original, postgraduate certification in business management. So again, I kept on learning from those institutions which are known for HR, known for organization development, known for learning and development. And then, of course, as a coach also, I earned professional certification from International Coaching Federation. It is like graduation. You can say ACC, PCC, MCC, they say. So PCC, you can say, is like possibly post-graduation, because MCC is like PhD, which I don't know when I will do. That's a different level. But, that's how this whole transition from corporate into this OD, L&D, and leadership coaching space happened.
Truly inspiring. On to the next, Lisa. You have actually gone beyond. You are now the published author of the book Penta Life. Though we captured your thoughts on the same, still a few words would be great.
Yeah, so Penta Life, the story of Penta Life, as I mentioned last time, it went back into my early years, in early growing up years, right? Where I met a monk, a Buddhist monk in the ancient ruins in the Magad area where I belong to. It's very inspiring for me to be coming from that place. And that's from where that that life as a subject, as a separate subject, it's a very philosophical thing. It's a very deeply spiritual thing. But somewhere it got at that point in time. So while I was going through my professional journey, learning everything else, I always kept on learning something on the life part also. And that's how I got into yoga. That's how I got into Vipassana meditation. That's how I kept on reading. On my right hand side, if I can show you, I have all the scriptures from all religions side by side. Every scripture that can be there, it is there. Just one right hand away: Vedas, Upanishad, Gita, Quran, Bible, Guru Granth Sahib, you name it, everything is there. So I kept on learning there. I kept on learning from Rumi, Sufi, and all those philosophies and all. And that's why when I stepped out, one of the first objective was to create a, deliver my book. That how I look at, there are 5 dimensions of life, which I always said. So I went whole hog into it, and have created that book. I have already talked a lot about the book. Don't want to talk about it. But yes, there are 5 dimensions of life. If you live it to the full, you will have true and lasting happiness, well-being, and success. That's what the Penta life tells you.
And it's really a holistic guide. So yes, we already had an amazing insights coming from you to a book discussion on your book Penta Life. One should definitely take a look. So this opening the floor to the next question here. This is little personal, sir. Please share any childhood memories or experience that had a profound impact on your values and personal development.
Yeah, so I have grown up in a some 26 bedroom house.
Okay.
We were 50 of us staying together, 3 grandparents building a house together, staying together. So like when in my growing up years, I will have couple of dozen of children, we all of us playing around like together. Okay, so you can imagine the togetherness, the love, that it's a different environment, no? So many people being under the same roof, celebrating together, having their time together. So that's like an amazing. So I've learned all that love, kindness, compassion, togetherness, and all. And one of the beautiful things which I mentioned in my book also, that in the festivals, we children will have the same lower and same upper, same cloth. Okay, so the tailor will come, the tailor will sit, we will line up in front of the tailor, and we will have the same kind of shirt, same kind of, boys will have shorts, and girls will have skirts, but then we will have the same. And all 2 dozen of us will going around pandals and all, no, visiting the pandals and all. You imagine the scene, right? So there will be people who will be looking at and giving a different kind of a smile also, little, sarcasm kind of a smile. But you know what feeling it gave to you as a child, to me as a child? It told me that I will not be lost in the crowd. That's one. Second feeling was that we will not lose each other. So, I have been lucky that, I have grown up from such an environment, and tremendous, all that I have carried all through my life, even though I left my hometown good 35 years back. But then I carry all that, and I owe a lot. My book as well, actually, I have dedicated to my parents and to Magad, my land.
Great. And yes, obviously, family influence is definitely important and powerful impact on every one of us, right? Also, please, sir, in addition to your professional pursuits, you mentioned being a certified Vedic yoga teacher and Vipassana meditation practitioner. How do these practices influence your approach to leadership and in life general?
Yeah. So, natural interest was any which way is there in this direction. So, you say yoga, when you become a yoga teacher, you not only learn those physical asana. Asana is just one part of the story. Yoga is about breath. Yoga is about balance. And then only about physicality or a stretch. Yoga is also about understanding Vedic philosophy, Vedanta, Upanishad philosophy. So when I became a teacher, in that training that I underwent, over 200 hours of training. So morning used to be all that asana, pranayam and meditation. The evenings used to be only discourses on all this knowledge and all that was there. And Vipassana meditation, when I spent 22 days inside a Buddhist pagoda like a hermit, like a, it's a really Spartan life, one-time meal. We used to have that time, complete silence, absolute silence. So, all that when I was doing, it's about the sound body, sound mind in a healthy body. And that's very, very important. If you look from any professional, and more so for a leadership professional, our wellness, our well-being is such an important element of our life. And we all would have realized this more so after the pandemic, what has happened. When we were helplessly watching some of the there was nobody who was not impacted, right? So, but going beyond that, uh, if you look at these practices like yoga and meditation, we are talking about mindfulness. We are talking about being present. We talk about two executive presence, right? Talked quite a lot. But the presence itself in whatever you are doing, you are eating, be present. You are with your near and dear ones, really be present. Get away from your phone. You are out there walking in the park, be present in your walking. So that mindfulness helps build self-awareness, and when that self-awareness is built, then self-management is there, self-leadership is there. So if you manage yourself well, if you lead yourself well, you will be able to lead others as well. You will be able to lead businesses as well, much better. And that's what yoga and vipassana meditation has given to me, and which I keep on sharing also wherever I get a time. In the book also it is written quite a lot. Yeah.
Great. The integration of ancient practices into modern leadership is definitely intriguing. The last question, Amlesh sir, here. Please share any valuable advice to share with younger generation aspiring to enter already working within the pharma industry in the company.
Yeah, so I will actually give 5 pointed, some of this Penta life, no? So there's a Penta mantra for professional also. I will give, and 5 clear things are there. First is sense of responsibility. If you cannot enter life sciences domain, whether it is pharma or medtech or medical devices, with the intent to serve the patient, then don't enter. Don't look at first from opportunity. First look from the sense of responsibility. And if you enter with a sense of responsibility, healthcare responsibility, and operate with that, you are bound to be successful, whether you are a medical representative or you are a marketing manager, or for that matter, you are a BUA. So that is the first thing that I would say. Keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. On the job, there is enough and more. Online, there is enough and more. Pick up subjects which may not be used now, but pick up subjects for your future. You want to get into a role. Next, start learning now. Why wait when you get into that role? So keep learning. Accept new challenges. So I'm only sharing what I have already practiced, and it has worked for me. So accept new challenges, accept unfamiliar terrains, unusual assignments. That's the biggest internal growth is there. And other is try and fail. The fourth one is try and fail. Don't make assumptions that I will go, the customer will say so, or my leader will say so. Don't assume things. If be open to fail, be open to get rejected, but don't be close to taking that step. Don't be close to making that effort. So try and fail is the fourth one. And the final one, I would say, which has been very, very dear to my heart all through my, managerial career and leadership career, particularly, stick to ethics and stay with basics. When you get completely lost, what to do, how to do, when you are really, really feeling that it is dark tunnel, nothing is visible, remember this mantra. Stick to ethics, do things which are right, do not do wrong things, do things which means value to people, stick to ethics, be ethical, and stay with basics. Remember, what are those basic fundamental things that I need to do? I don't need any airy fairy. Ensure these two things. Believe me, success can come anywhere and everywhere in any industry, in any position. Just these two things. Trust me. So, these are the 5 things. And final one, of course, I'll repeat: stick to ethics and stay with basics. That's what I would like to say.
Great advice for the aspiring professional. And as we conclude, I would like to thank you again, Amlesh sir, for your insightful presence here. Thank you so much. Pharma professionals and students, if you want a change and more than that motivation for your work, life, you should be learning tons of insight from just listening to such discussions. Thank you, everyone. And everyone who is watching, I hope you enjoy this episode. Reach out to us for any suggestion. Bye and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Shazia. Wonderful interacting with you. Thanks a lot, friend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.